Hello, sunshines, and welcome to deValiante Plays Beacon Pines by Hiding Spot. In this creepy, cute adventure set within a mysterious book, you play as a little fawn named Luca, who you will help guide through the tumultuous changes happening in the sleepy little town of Beacon Pines. If you want to see more games from this channel, drop a like and a follow and tell me in the comments what you want to see me play next. Warning! This video contains strong language and imagery that some may find disturbing. Discretion is advised. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Oh, Solomon.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Ew. Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where did you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice, but whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's easy as cold hard cash. I see. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Definitely locked. Alright, before I click on that. Okay, I don't see anything else. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Cren's new rug store! Underground secrets! The password!
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Alright, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great, now what? I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground.
Ooh. Oh, it's the broken one. So it was Nuncreed.
Vaguely of chlorine.
Okay, sorry, I was just talking over it. So it was Nuncreed who grabbed us. Somehow, some way. Doesn't entirely make sense, but whatever. I knew it! You knew that there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue number 12 were real? Rolo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each one of these has something written on them. Mining Operations Alpha? You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. Paul always says you can only trust a minor up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies to his exact situation. That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest Main Office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff? Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Okay, so these are... Jesus Christ, my brain. That's how he got to the Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse so quickly. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is strange to feel like something... starting to feel like something big. This suit has a broken mask. So, have we found our mystery warehouse creeper? We've at least found their hazmat suit. If it walks like a Nuncreed and talks like a Nuncreed... Let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hake Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Rollo, what did you do? Nothing! I didn't even move yet. What was that? Hide! Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back! Shit. Shit. Shit! Awesome! You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. But they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends. Back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep. Total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us, says he's got an opportunity. He found something he didn't quite understand, and he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was It's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, "Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone."
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, and he's still got me saying yes.
Is there a point to this sob story?
Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this, but you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What?
You really don't know. My Gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose.
Juniper?
Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party.
She's going to disrupt the festival. Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know?
Apparently she knows a lot of things.
What?
Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today.
And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now. She's in danger, boy.
I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square.
The fountain? But why?
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source.
What the heck is the source?
If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze... Dear God, she's going to freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back.
That did not go how I expected.
So... We're totally following him, right?
Totally.
See you on the other side.
You good?
Yep.
I love this town.
Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera, as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
That was intense. Yeah.
I think I might have parted with some fluids in there.
Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold.
Doesn't look like it got on any of us.
It didn't feel like we traveled that far.
So, where did it all go?
This place sucks. Why would anyone want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We gotta catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way.
I can't go this way. Yeah, can I? Yes, I can. Okay, I can't go to the...
This looks familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear it off with the snow. No time, Nuncreed's getting away. Seriously? We're not gonna even try? Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well-versed on all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some kind of sort of frozen replica of town.
Ah, I got it! It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Roll out! Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures.
Oh boy, here we go.
The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through this metallic wormhole, those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective, kill us. Why do you have to yawn right then? The final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into Beacon Pine citizens of their choosing.
You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town.
Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators.
Gran! What's happening?
Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing.
How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to effect change.
Very convenient that your way just happened to be to line your pockets.
Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage. And in the stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This will all make sense soon, Luca. And everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't!
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to...
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence. Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror, there was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Okay.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
So are we gonna find out how she faked her death, or if this is actually her, or her, like, twin sister that nobody knew about?
Luca lifted his
It's
head
like this
in
is going on for a
astonishment.
really long time.
The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How? It is her. Because she got touched by the stuff.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo. The only people who call me that are my mom, my dad, and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, Buckaroo. Mom!
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were... gone. You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca. But I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. They don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. You don't understand. He always wins. The man is dead, unless he's not.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know.
Thank you for joining me as I played Beacon Pines by Hiding Spot. The next episode will be out shortly. If you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, a follow, and ring that notification bell so you know when a new episode drops. Also, don't forget to check out the link to the completely free Discord server to chat about games and whatever else is on your mind. Let's keep the comments chill, so no hate or spoilers, as I'm not above removing those comments and the people who make them. That's all for now, folks, and I'll see you next time.